Thank you, may I be excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Are you Mr. Barnes, Javon Barnes? Wave your hand if that's you. Ooh, okay. All right. So this is position 10 now, Ms. Black. It's 23 CP 219-400. 68 days without indictment, no bond as of 6/16. Unlawful for a person to be employed or associated with criminal street gang to conduct or participate in criminal street gang activity. Unlawful for a person to commit the offense with the intent to obtain, earn membership, maintain, or increase status in a gang. Unlawful for a person to acquire and maintain through criminal gang activity or proceeds derived from such. Possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony. And armed robbery.
No prior arrest history.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Black.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Barnes is 18 years old, Judge. At the time of before his arrest, he was living with his mom in Douglasville. He is a lifelong resident of Georgia. His father is present, Mr. Jonathan Barnes. He's present on Zoom if the court would like to hear from him. His mom is also present watching remotely on YouTube. Judge, if he's released on bond, he will be living with his dad, which I think makes a big difference in this case. His father is retired law enforcement and currently is employed as in security industry, but was employed as law enforcement with Georgia's state of Georgia, as well as City of Morrow and Florida Department of Law. He is presumed innocent of these charges, Judge, and I can assure you that Mr. Barnes is not a gang member. But nonetheless, I understand this is not the appropriate juncture to debate the facts in this case, and we look forward to doing that at the appropriate time. He does understand the serious nature of these charges, Judge, and upon his arrest, he was actually pulled over. He wasn't aware that there was an active warrant, but when made aware during this traffic stop, he was peacefully arrested. And in fact, law enforcement, he asked to call his dad. His dad was allowed and permitted to come to the scene to retrieve the vehicle. And so that happened peacefully. And I think that's important, Judge, because if he's released on bond, I'm asking that he live with his dad. His dad and he are very close. He listens to his dad. He's very close with his mom as well. But there's sort of that added layer of accountability that his father is here to ensure that he will comply with any conditions that this court see fit. In addition, because of the serious nature of these charges, Judge, and because he's taken these charges very seriously, he was also evaluated by Gary Davis, who's the CEO and founder of the Next Level Boys Academy. I don't know if the court is familiar with that program, but they do extensive work in Fulton County with people charged with very, very serious charges like this, some even more serious. So since his evaluation at the jail, he has been accepted, and I do have the acceptance letter, which I'm happy to provide to the court. Mr. Davis is also available to log on to Zoom if the court has questions, but he would be required to participate in this program. DA Fonnie Willis is very familiar with this program and has endorsed it. And so I would add that adds sort of an added layer of accountability to ensure that when he's out on bond, he will be living with his dad in McDonough and Henry County. So he has no need to be in Fulton County other than he will be working. He does have an opportunity to work for Penske, which is in South Fulton, if the court would allow that. But he can also be banished from Fulton County because he can attend Next Level Boys Academy, which is in Union City. But if the court doesn't want him in Fulton, he can attend that remotely. Obviously, it's more ideal for him to attend Saturdays. He would be attending that 2 or 3 times a week with Next Level, be given a mentor, doing community service, working on life skills, communication skills, and all of the things that I think are important for somebody as young as he is. If he's released on bond, Judge, he'd be living at 125 Ashton Brook Drive, McDonough, Georgia. Again, we'd ask for an ankle monitor. We are fine with an ankle monitor. There is nothing before the court to show that Mr. Barnes wouldn't comply with any order of this court. Obviously, there's no criminal history. Any other conditions, curfew that the court see fit, we are asking for. So I'm asking for a global bond of no more than $30,000, ankle monitor, and any and all conditions, as well as requiring him to participate in the Next Level Boys Academy.
All right. What says the state?
Good afternoon, Judge. This is ADO come for the state.
Good afternoon.
Your Honor, the state's position is that the defendant is a member of a violent gang. This armed robbery was a violent armed robbery. The victim, in fact, was pistol whipped and bled while she was being robbed, and the individuals were armed. The state's position is that the defendant is a member of a gang. He and his fellow gang members robbed the victim twice, the same victim. So the state's position is that for each gang count, we'll be asking for $15,000. Inherent is if you're a member of a gang. Inherent in being a member of a gang is that it's a violent gang. I believe he's a member of the Bloods. Inherent is their violence. Inherent is they commit crimes. Inherent is that they commit violent crimes. The state's position is, if Your Honor is going to grant a bond, we would ask for $50,000 each on the gang counts. I believe he has 4. That'd be 200,000. And then for the armed robbery as well, we'd be asking for 100,000. That would be 300,000. We'd also ask for no weapons, no replicas of weapons, no association with gang members or known gang members, no gang affiliation, no flying of colors, no social media. And obviously stay away with his co-defendants. I believe his co-defendant's name is Mr. Mbaki. Last name is spelled Mbacke. I don't know if he has been through yet, Your Honor, but would ask that you have no contact with him as well. And obviously with the victims as well. That's the state's position, Judge.
Judge,
Okay.
if I could just add, we have no issue with no contact with anybody that the court see fit in this case. I would ask though for, I think that bond is excessive. If we're talking about a gang member, that the very office has consented, the DA's office that is, has consented today to a RICO, arguably the biggest racketeering gang case that that office has ever seen for the president of the United States of America. And that consent bond was $200,000 for somebody with multiple open indictments. Mr. Barnes has no prior arrests. This is his first case. And so to ask this court to issue a bond to an 18-year-old kid with no record, no history, with all we have is one simple arrest warrant, not an indictment with multiple counts and multiple co-defendants. To ask this court for a $200,000 bond, I think is just inappropriate and is punitive at this point. So I'd ask for a bond of no more than $30,000.
Ms. Oakham, anything else? Did she freeze?
Your Honor, I would note that the RICO charge for the $200,000, he's not a violent gang member. I would just note that for the record, Judge.
I just read that.
I think that's arguable, Judge.
All right, let's see. So, and he's the gang that he's allegedly a member of is Atlanta Blood Gang. Is that correct, Ms. Oakham? Is that what you're suggesting?
It's the Atlanta Blood Gang, to be specific, the Inglewood Family 9 Deuce Blood Gang.
Okay. All right. So no drugs unless prescribed, no alcohol, no weapons, no replicas of weapons, no social media presence, no wearing your colors, no further contact with any gang members, affiliates of gangs, people wanting to be gangs, thinking they're a gang, the Atlanta Blood Gang or the Inglewood Family Blood Gang or any other gangs. You have an ankle monitor paid for by the county with a 24-hour curfew, court, lawyer, medical, employment. As long as you supply the name of your employer, proof of employment, schedule, and the exact location you'll be working. Also, stay out of Fulton County except for court, meetings with your lawyers, and employment. But you have to give a schedule. If you're not working there, sir, don't try me. Don't say you don't get a job and then quit it and go back and forth, because the ankle monitoring company, they send a printout and they look over it. All right. So stay out of Fulton County. If anything else, and I think your dad's on here. You're 18. Has he completed his GED? Does he gonna go back and complete his GED?
Yes, Judge. He completed Woodland High School.
Okay. Let's see. Dad, is there anything else? I know you're on here that you need from this court to give you a helping hand.
No, sir, Your Honor. Myself and the other half.
All right. So you just got to follow the rules of your dad's house. Okay. If your dad tells you go outside and cut the grass, cut it, go back in, ask him if he likes it. And if he doesn't like it, you go back out and cut it again. All right. Until he's satisfied. Anything he needs you to do. And if your dad comes out of pocket any money, you're to reimburse your dad either in sweat equity or dollar for dollar what he has to pay. Because this is not a dad problem. This is a you problem. All right.
And just so I'm clear, Judge, is he not permitted to attend Next Level since it is in Fulton County?
Yes. Okay. And he can attend the program that is called Next Levels, right?
Next Level Boys Academy.
Next Level Boys. You can attend that, but you have to let them know when you're doing it. Okay. All right. So All right, 40 on each gang count, 10 on the possession of a firearm or knife during the commission of a felony, and 40 on armed robbery. So it's 40, 40, 40, 10, and 40. Best of luck to you, sir. That income honor will be paid for by the county.
Your Honor, that concludes my matter. May I be excused, please?
Yes, ma'am. Good to see you
Thank you,
again.
Judge. Have a good day.
All right, thank you.